If you're over 60 and find yourself waking up at 2 a.m. almost every night, you're not alone, and it's not because you drank too much water before bed. In fact, this frustrating mid-sleep awakening affects nearly 40% of seniors, according to a 2023 National Sleep Foundation survey. And while many people blame their evening tea, late-night glass of water, or even a juicy slice of fruit, the truth is far more complex and often overlooked. This isn't just about sleep comfort. It's about your brain, hormones, and cardiovascular health. Because when you consistently wake at 2 a.m., you're not just losing rest. You could be disrupting the very repair processes your body depends on to protect memory, stabilize blood sugar, and maintain heart rhythm. Today, I'll reveal the surprising science-backed causes of these early morning wake-ups, how they connect to the foods you eat, the way your body regulates temperature, and the silent hormone shifts that happen after 60, and, most importantly, what you can do, starting tonight, to reclaim deep, uninterrupted sleep. This is not about drinking less water, it's about uncovering the real triggers and making small, targeted changes that can dramatically improve your nights and your days. First cause, a sudden drop in core body temperature after midnight. Most people think we simply get tired at night and wake up in the morning. But the truth is that our body runs on a precise temperature rhythm, one that changes dramatically after we turn 60. Normally, your core temperature begins to fall in the evening, triggering the release of melatonin and preparing your brain for deep sleep. Around 2 to 3 a.m., it reaches its lowest point, and that's where the trouble begins. For younger adults, this drop is gentle and steady, allowing the body to stay in restorative slow-wave sleep. But in seniors, age-related changes in circulation, muscle mass, and brown fat metabolism can make the drop to sudden and to steep, jolting the body awake as if it's under a mild cold shock. This is especially true if your bedroom is cooler than 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius, or if you wear light sleepwear that doesn't trap enough body heat during that temperature trough. Add in certain medications, especially blood pressure drugs, beta blockers, or even some diabetes medications, and the effect becomes even stronger, making your internal thermostat more fragile at night. The brain interprets this rapid temperature shift as a survival signal, activating cortisol and partially waking you, often leaving you alert, restless, and unable to fall back asleep. Better tip: instead of turning your thermostat way up, aim for consistent microwarmth at the body level. A light but insulating blanket, warm socks, or a breathable thermal sleep shirt can help keep core temperature stable without overheating. If your feet are cold at night, try warming them before bed with a heating pad for 10 minutes. Studies show this alone can reduce nighttime awakenings by up to 30% in older adults. Second cause, a late-night cortisol spike from hidden stress signals. Many seniors assume that stress means worrying before bed, replaying conversations, finances, or health concerns. But what most don't realize is that stress hormones can spike hours after you've fallen asleep, pulling you wide awake at 2 a.m. like clockwork. After 60, the body's cortisol rhythm becomes more sensitive to even small triggers. A sudden sound from outside, a drop in blood sugar, mild acid reflux, or even an undiagnosed mild sleep apnea episode. Each of these can cause the adrenal glands to release a burst of cortisol, a hormone designed to make you alert and ready for action. This isn't just aging, it's your body responding as if you were in danger. Even seemingly harmless evening habits, like watching intense news programs, eating chocolate close to bedtime, or scrolling on your phone in bed, can prime your stress response without you realizing it. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, delaying deep sleep onset. And when your body finally tries to enter restorative cycles, the cortisol surge can happen at the worst possible time, right in the middle of the night. Over time, this can condition your brain to expect wakefulness at 2 a.m., turning a temporary pattern into a nightly habit. Better tip: create a wind-down buffer at least 1 hour before sleep. No news, no phone screens, no mentally stimulating activities. Replace them with calming cues like dim lighting, slow breathing exercises, or gentle stretching. If you suspect hidden stressors like reflux or low blood sugar, keep a symptom diary for a week. Bringing this to your doctor can help uncover and fix the root cause, instead of masking it with sleeping pills. Third cause, blood sugar dips from evening eating patterns. One of the most overlooked reasons seniors over 60 wake up at 2 a.m. is not hydration. It's the way your blood sugar rises and crashes overnight. Here's what happens. If you have a carb-heavy or sugary dinner, think pasta, white bread, potatoes, dessert. Your blood sugar spikes in the evening. Your pancreas works hard to release insulin to bring it down. But in older adults, that drop can overshoot, especially during the first half of the night. By 2 a.m., your brain senses low glucose as an emergency. After all, it runs almost entirely on sugar, and it triggers a wake-up response, often with a rapid heartbeat, restlessness, or even mild anxiety. This is particularly common in seniors with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, where the fine-tuning of insulin and glucagon is already impaired. To make matters worse, if you've eaten dinner very early, then gone to bed without a small protein-rich snack, your body might have been running on empty for several hours before the crash. Even healthy evening habits like fruit smoothies or a bowl of cereal can cause trouble, because they digest quickly and leave you without a steady glucose supply by the time your body needs it most. Over time, these nightly glucose alarms not only break your sleep, but also stress your heart and brain. Better tip, if late-night awakenings are a pattern, try a small, balanced snack about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Something with protein, healthy fat, and minimal sugar. Examples include a few almonds with half a boiled egg, or a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter. This helps stabilize blood sugar through the night, reducing the chance of that 2 a.m. cortisol glucose spike cycle. Fourth cause, hormonal shifts that disrupt the sleep cycle after 60. By the time we reach our 60s, the balance of hormones that control sleep has changed dramatically, and not just melatonin to key players, growth hormone and estrogen. Women, or testosterone for men, drop significantly with age, and these changes can directly affect when and how deeply we sleep. Growth hormone is released mostly during the first half of the night and is responsible for repairing tissues, strengthening bones, and maintaining muscle. When levels are lower, the brain spends less time in restorative slow-wave sleep, making it more likely that small disturbances, like a change in temperature or a minor noise, will pull you out of rest in the early morning hours. In women, the postmenopausal decline in estrogen reduces serotonin production and alters the way the body regulates core temperature, both of which can lead to those wide-awake at 2 a.m. moments. For men, lower testosterone can reduce overall sleep quality and increase the risk of restless legs or sleep apnea, both of which peak in intensity during the early morning hours. On top of that, melatonin production itself drops by up to 50% after age 60, meaning the signals that should keep you asleep are weaker than they used to be. So once you're up, it's much harder to drift back into slumber. Better tip, support your natural hormone rhythms without jumping straight to supplements. Exposure to bright natural light in the morning can help reset your melatonin cycle, while resistance training 2 to 3 times a week can boost both growth hormone and testosterone. For women, foods rich in phytoestrogens like flax seeds, chickpeas, and certain legumes can offer a gentle, natural way to support estrogen balance. Always discuss hormone replacement therapy with your doctor before considering it, as timing and dosage matter greatly for both safety and effectiveness. Fifth cause, hidden inflammation and chronic conditions that peak overnight. Many seniors think that if they're not in pain when they go to bed, inflammation isn't an issue, but the body's inflammatory signals often surge while you sleep, especially in the early morning hours. After 60, low-grade chronic inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, becomes more common due to arthritis, cardiovascular disease, gum disease, or even lingering infections. These inflammatory chemicals, cytokines, can subtly activate the nervous system during deep sleep, raising heart rate or muscle tension, just enough to wake you. The timing is no accident. Your body's natural cortisol cycle rises slightly toward dawn to help prepare you for waking. But if inflammation is present, this rise happens too early and too sharply, often at 2 or 3 a.m. Conditions like acid reflux, chronic sinus issues, or even mild heart failure can worsen when lying flat, increasing pressure on the chest or airways. The brain registers these shifts as discomfort or risk, prompting a wake-up reflex. And here's a critical piece. Some inflammation doesn't cause pain at all. It shows up only in lab results like elevated CRP or ESR, or in small signs you might overlook, such as morning stiffness or night sweats. Left unchecked, these micro-awakenings can accumulate into real sleep debt, affecting memory, immunity, and mood. Better tip: address inflammation at its root. This might mean adjusting your diet toward anti-inflammatory foods like berries, leafy greens, turmeric, and omega-3 rich fish, or ensuring proper dental care to prevent gum disease, a surprisingly common cause of systemic inflammation in seniors. Elevating the head of your bed slightly can also reduce reflux and airway pressure, cutting down on overnight wake-ups linked to hidden inflammation. A simple blood test through your doctor can confirm if inflammation is playing a role in your sleep disruptions. Sixth cause: common medications that disrupt sleep without you realizing it. After 60, most people are on at least one long-term prescription, and many of these drugs have side effects that quietly interfere with your sleep cycle. Diuretics, often prescribed for high blood pressure or heart failure, can increase nighttime urination, but even if you don't wake to use the bathroom, they can subtly alter electrolyte balance, which can jolt your nervous system awake around 2 a.m. Beta blockers, widely used for heart conditions, can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to stay in deep sleep. Certain antidepressants, steroids, and even seemingly harmless over-the-counter cold remedies can have stimulating effects hours after you've taken them. Pain medications, particularly opioids, may help you fall asleep initially but fragment your REM cycles, leading to early morning awakenings. And here's the tricky part: sometimes it's not the drug itself, but the timing of when you take. For example, taking a stimulant-containing medication or a dose that peaks in the middle of the night can create a predictable 2 a.m. wake-up pattern. Because older adults metabolize many drugs more slowly, the active window of a medication can overlap with the most sensitive part of your sleep cycle, even if you took it in the late afternoon. Better tip: never stop a medication on your own, but do keep a detailed sleep log, noting the times you take each drug, your bedtime, and when you wake up at night. Share this with your healthcare provider. In many cases, simply adjusting the time of day you take a certain medication can restore uninterrupted sleep without changing the dose. If possible, ask your doctor whether there's a slow-release or alternative version that's gentler on nighttime rest. Seventh cause: poor evening light and sound environment that confuses your internal clock. Many seniors focus on diet, stress, and medications when tackling sleep problems, but the sensory environment, especially light and sound, plays a far bigger role than most realize. After 60, our eyes let in less light during the day due to natural lens changes, which means the brain gets a weaker daytime wake signal and a weaker nighttime sleep signal. This can cause the body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm, to drift, making early morning wake-ups more likely. Even small amounts of light at night, from a street lamp through thin curtains, the glow of a digital clock, or the TV left on, can suppress melatonin and make the brain think dawn has arrived. Sound is just as powerful. Our hearing becomes more sensitive to certain frequencies as we age, so noises that younger people sleep through a distant car door, the hum of an appliance, can fully wake us. The 2 a.m. hour is particularly vulnerable because your body is cycling into lighter sleep before entering another deep phase. If the environment sends a daytime signal at that moment, it can stop the cycle entirely. Better tip: treat your bedroom like a controlled sleep chamber. Use blackout curtains or a comfortable sleep mask to eliminate stray light. And choose earplugs or a white noise machine to mask disruptive sounds. If you often wake around 2 a.m., try exposing yourself to bright natural light within an hour of waking in the morning. This helps anchor your circadian rhythm and makes it less likely to misfire in the early hours. Even a 15-minute walk outdoors after breakfast can strengthen your body's internal sleep-wake cues. If you're over 60 and waking up at 2 a.m. night after night, the answer is rarely as simple as stop drinking water before bed. More often, it's a combination of temperature drops, hormonal changes, blood sugar swings, hidden inflammation, medication effects, and environmental signals confusing your body's clock. The good news is that each of these factors can be adjusted, often with small, sustainable changes, to restore deep, uninterrupted rest. Start by tracking your sleep for 1 to 2 weeks, noting your bedtime routine, meals, medication times, room conditions, and exactly when you wake. Bring this record to your doctor, as patterns will often reveal themselves quickly. Focus on stabilizing core body temperature with breathable but insulating sleepwear, anchoring your circadian rhythm through morning light exposure, balancing evening blood sugar with a light protein snack, and reducing hidden stress triggers in the hour before bed. Address potential sources of inflammation through diet and dental health, and work with your healthcare provider to review medications for sleep disruption risks. Remember, at this stage of life, quality of sleep is as important as quantity. Deep rest fuels memory, mood, heart health, and independence. By targeting the real reasons for your 2 a.m. wake-ups, you're not just improving your nights, you're protecting your days too. Sleep is your most powerful daily medicine, and the earlier you start supporting it, the more years of vitality you preserve.